get right to it. Look. No introductions, no interruptions. When I roll into functions, just know that it's tucked in, like I wore a tuxin. Say hello to Justin. Justin for making something out of nothing. Mama told me I'm a star. Them haters said I wasn't. Now I'm looking at a mugging from a V-dozen shrugging. Feeling like McLovin, I'm becoming a conundrum. These dum-dums forgot where I come from. There's nothing that we run from. BK, niggas know the status. Got like 2 spots in the top 3 rappers. It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.
And
Well,
this is
how
why
many views does something have to get to be worth $50,000? Just being real, in this time.
Let's just say 10 million.
10 million views to be worth 50,000.
About that, yeah. Well, because you're not just trying to break even, you're trying to make a profit.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of spending $50,000 to make $50,000?
Right, exactly.
My time is valuable.
Right.
You know, I have overhead.
And you said 10 million.
About 10 million, yeah. 10 million views.
So what's 1 million?
They say you get like
About
5,000 to
5,000
7,000.
each
Yeah,
million.
about 5. I usually go 1 million to 5,000. That's usually what I work out in my head.
Right.
And I feel that's enough to pad it for some profit as well.
That depends on your CPM rate.
Depends on your CPM. It depends whether videos get demonetized. Now there's the clips. There's also the full interview and so forth. So a lot goes into that. But usually with that formula, you've padded it enough to the point where you can make some profit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because listen, there's been lots of interviews. You know, like I remember I interviewed Tupac's dad. Like they really were very firm on a relatively high number, and I kept trying to push it down, and they weren't budging. As of right now, that interview has lost money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I bit the bullet, did it. It didn't quite do what I wanted to do. Now maybe over time, you know, maybe when Tupac comes back in the news, or maybe Tupac's dad comes back in the news, it might jump up or whatever else. So I'm not really stressing about it. It's not like it was a massive loss.
Right.
But it was like, I probably should have stuck to my guns and just kept the price that I originally wanted, which I thought was a fair price. But
it would have made sense.
Would have made sense. But I'm also looking at like, you know, this is an older man. I might not get the opportunity to interview him in a couple of years.
But also that interview, I don't think there are many other people that have done that interview.
There's one Art of Dialogue.
Right.
Art of Dialogue.
So it's pretty. It's going to last a long time.
Possibly.
That's how. Because I remember, I believe we used that interview for something that I worked on. So, and I remember there was only like your platform, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a business at the end of the day, and you know, I mean, there is the importance of it, and there is the impact, and there's the cultural aspect of it, but there's also bills. Yeah. You know, I have a New York studio that costs me $20,000 a month, whether I film there or not. Right. You know, and that's not my only studio. I have a dozen employees that are all fairly paid. I pay for their health insurance, and you know, I'm saying their dental and everything else like that. Like, we have to keep up a certain level of income for this company to even function. You know, we laid off our whole writing staff last year because that part of the company was just shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. People are getting their views.
A lot of writers.
Yeah, I hated it. I had a girl that worked for me for like 10 years that I had to call her up and say, I'm so sorry. Like, we're just laying off the whole department. Right. So
people don't read anymore, really.
Yeah, people don't read. Or they just go, when they scroll on Instagram, they get the whole story right there in the caption.
Right.
Right. Well, why click over?
You will read my book. It's going to be different. Not like anything you've...
You know, you have to balance.
Stop.
You know, because like I have a staff that I'm responsible for. That I do my best because I understand that I'm essentially their only source of income. People that work for me full time, these aren't like contractors who have other gigs. Their rent, their food, their electricity is paid by me. So I have to make sure that they continue to get paid, and we have to keep a certain output up because I don't want to just start having to let people go.
Right.
So there's lots of responsibilities.
How difficult is it when YouTube changes policies and They go back and they yellow light stuff.
Well, I mean, but
CBM rate is dropping.
that became part of the process of us always monitoring interviews. So when they do get demonetized and they go yellow, you could actually submit a counter to that. And if that doesn't work, there's actually a second counter you could do as well, which I didn't know about. Shout out to Trapler Ross who told me about that. So you try to preserve as much as you can in terms of monetization, but sometimes it's out of your control. You know, if you paid a whole bunch of money for an interview, then the video gets demonetized.
You're stuck.
You're stuck.
Right.
And it's not like you can blame the person. They did their job. You never heard me criticize. Like, you know, I'm like Tupac's dad. I have nothing bad to say about him. He came in, he answered all the questions. He was professional. He was polite. He was open. He was transparent. He did everything that he was supposed to do. It was up to me to turn that into a profitable venture. And I wasn't able to do it, at least at this time. So, no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and get mad at him because he didn't do the views. No, like he did his thing. I have the utmost respect, you know, for his dad and what he went through. But we have to run it as a business. We have to run it as a business or else there will be no more business. Look at all like the blogs that aren't just around anymore.
But I was going to ask you about the writers when you said that, like when you had to lay them off. It
wasn't just one writer, it was like 5 writers.
Right, so did you have to cut out that whole part of your site? Like, do you not do that anymore?
No, we don't.
Wow.
We don't report on the news anymore.
Wow, so it just wasn't profitable at all.
No, I'm not going to say that, but the profit was just shrinking and shrinking year after year after year.
Okay.
And I just felt like it was getting to the point where it was almost breaking even. And when you're almost breaking even, there's kind of no point in doing it anymore. You know, you just... you have to bite the bullet. And you got to think that AI also played a role in this also.
Absolutely.
Because these writers were also writing up captions from our videos, but then we figured out that we could actually take the transcript from the video, run it through ChatGPT, and now we have the write-up.
Math is actually planning to replace us all with robots. So
no, we go unionize this spot before you do that shit.
Okay, all right.
You got the vice president in the building.
Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, so that was it as well. AI also took part of their job. I may have kept one writer on just to do that, but ultimately, when ChatGPT does something for you in 30 seconds and you don't need the writer, you have to do what you have to do. I'm not happy about this.
Right.
I'm not, because these are human beings who have worked for me and done their job and have been loyal and everything else like that. But it was a hard thing to do. But ultimately, as a business person, you have to make those decisions.
Yeah.
You ever paid a guest? They didn't like the interview and they hit you back and asked you to take it down?
Scott Disick.
Wow.
That's okay, Peter. Never take life for granted. Shit real. I got issues for what I've been through, but then again, if I give you my all, it's genuine. You ain't never lived a life if you never took a loss. If I die tonight, everything I ever own, you can take it all. Put my pain in this music until the song hurting. Ever gave your heart to the wrong person? If I love you, just keep it tall with me. And in return, you get rewards from me. 5-star dinners, shopping sprees and long trips. Booked a short stay with your bae in the A and gave a long...